Hello. So I'm going to demonstrate how I sharpen one knife with the process that I go through with my Cutter Master Bladesman 42-inch grinder, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to take you through that process. I'm going to sharpen one knife. This particular knife does have a little bit of a chip towards the tip, which I'm going to take out first, and then I'm going to go ahead and sharpen it. I don't know if you can see that on the video here, but right towards the tip, there's a little bit of a chip right along the edge. So I'm going to take that out first, and then I'm going to go through the sharpening process. What I use on most of the knives that I sharpen is I start with a 3M Cubitron P120, which is a 120 grit belt. I move on to the 3M Trizac belts. Then I go to the 830, which is the 600 grit belt. From there, I refine the edge with the Trizac A16, which is a 1200 belt. And then I go to a leather strop on the leather belt, and I use some blue Japanese polishing compound on the leather to finish out the process. So I'll get started here. The first thing I want to do is check the angle. I'm using the angle guide platform Jeff Toyson designed. I'd asked him for a way to be able to do freehand sharpening quickly using the Bladesman grinder without having to use the guide bar. And I originally came up with, I had this platform here that I purchased on Amazon. It's a pretty well machine that you can really dial in the angle, and I would use that and bring the knife over to the belt and kind of just keep my hand steady and grind that way. But I went to Jeff to see if he can come up with a solution to get a guide bar directly over the belt, and he did. He came up with this, which is absolutely amazing. So I'll go through and show you the process on this one knife. First, I'm going to set the angle using this angle cube. It's showing, I zero it out on the belt, on the platen, and then I go over here, and for this particular knife, I'm going to sharpen at 17 degrees, so I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Okay. And there it is. Bingo, 17 degrees exactly. Okay. I'm going to put my mask on now, and I am going to use my vacuum system, so it'll get a little loud, but I want to protect myself from the dust. So I'll go ahead and just go through this process and talk to you when I'm done with it. I think we're good. Got a very clean bevel. Nice and even. Check it out under the magnifying glass just to make sure. Yeah. Yeah, looks nice and even. I don't see any imperfections or chips. The chip's gone. That was towards the tip. Let's see how it cuts. Some U-line catalog paper. Okay. I think that's pretty clean. So, in any case, that's the process that I use to sharpen one knife, and that took me about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes tops. The process that I use when I'm doing a number of knives at one time is I just, on one single belt, I'll just do the whole progression from, for all the knives in one shot, switch belts, go back to the other side, doing each knife, and I do them all that way. I can time myself. I can get through about 10 knives in about 15 minutes, beginning to end, which is great timing with this. So this system is absolutely amazing, and if you're a sharpener doing this, commercially or as a business, this is an absolute amazing machine. You don't need multiple machines. Do a lot of other, besides knives, I do tools, garden tools, lawnmower blades. It's extremely versatile. It's reversible. Any case, signing off. Love the Bladesman. Thanks.